Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I just kind of finished watching Scream 3 not that long ago, maybe like an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago. But, anyways, Scream 3 is an okay movie. It's still not as great as 1 or 2 because 1 or 2 is still the better ones out of the franchise. But the most important thing about Scream 3, the good thing about Scream 3 is the whole sibling aspect, because although it was not as great as the previous two, 3 was pretty interesting when it came to the twist at the end of the whole, hey Sydney, I'm your brother. I'm your long, long lost brother. Which, in hindsight, is not a bad idea. Which was a pretty good twist and whatnot. And the whole I'm the big bad evil brother aspect was nice for the whole. It was a good idea for the franchise itself. It ran into a trilogy problem, which, don't get me wrong, sequels do have their own problems with anything, but this is a trilogy that ran into trilogy problems. Like, if you think about it, with anything, TV shows, movies, whenever there's like a second season, a third season, it runs into the third season trope problem problem, which is it's not as well as the first season or the second. It's not the greatest. It doesn't always. The third movie always fails, whether it's, for example, Spider-Man 3, Blade, Trinity. Don't get me wrong, there are some really good trilogies out there, but it's fairly rare that the third installment is much better than the original movie, or the original two movies that came before it. For example, Daredevil Season 3, all three seasons of Daredevil were freaking phenomenal. Jessica Jones, all three seasons were freaking fantastic. But when it comes to movies and trilogies, whether it's a horror movie trilogy or a trilogy that has to deal with just about anything. most trilogies run into a third installment problem. It doesn't matter what kind of problem it runs into. It does not usually end well for certain reasons. Although the third installment of Scream 3 is pretty decent compared to what came before it, it is still a third movie. And it runs into the same exact problems as any other third film in a trilogy, which is it's not going to be very well received for whenever it came out. And I think the biggest problem that the Scream franchise relies heavily on is Sidney Prescott. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If Sidney is always gonna be synonymous with Scream. But it's a fantastic franchise. It's a good franchise. Yes, it has its ups and downs, like anything else. But the thing is that we must understand that you can't rely. I understand why people didn't like the original, the third movie as well, and thinking, just looking back on the original trilogy, I can see why this third movie felt plain, which understandable. And as I'm like going through the whole franchise itself, so I can honestly say I get it. But honestly, the third one is really good if you just think about it logically. Because, okay, the first two were mostly about revenge, son takes revenge on girlfriend for what his father did with the girlfriend's mother, which I don't think has happened in any other horror franchise. Plus, it's a meta commentary on horror movies in general, like the first of anything. It's a meta commentary on anything that is the first film in any franchise, any show, any season, any series. It's a meta. If we think logically, right, from 1 and 2, Scream 1 was a meta commentary / love story to anything that came first. First horror movie, first anything. Any movie that came first is a meta commentary on that franchise. Any franchise. It can be any franchise you can think of, right? Part 2, Scream 2, is a meta commentary on all the sequels that we know and love, like Star Wars 5, 6, I don't know. The original Star Wars trilogy, Terminator, Aliens 2, Ghostbusters 2, if you want to put that in the same category as like a meta commentary on the sequels, because like it is a sequel. Anything that has a sequel, Scream will always have a meta commentary put upon it. And same thing with Part 3. With Scream 3. It is a meta commentary on the third installment of anything franchise related. Whether it's Batman 3, Superman 3, Spider-Man 3, Blade 3, Iron Man 3. Just for examples, It will take a simple... It's a meta commentary on anything in film related. If it's no matter what, it's a meta it has and always will be a meta commentary. And that is the great thing about Scream, that it has and will always be a meta commentary on anything. As we get more and more sequels of Scream and more seasons of Scream, we see what works for Scream. No matter what. No matter if it's the show, no matter if it's the movies. Scream has always, since 1996, since 96, which is going to be, it's 26 years old anyways. Scream has always been a meta commentary on anything. On pretty much legit everything and anything that surrounds it, that it has to deal with. They can shell out as many A-list celebrities they want. They can name drop. They can literally name drop anybody that was famous back in the 90s, early 2000s. Heck, they can even name drop people that fell in or out of fame and popularity throughout the years, like Whitney Houston, for example. They could be like, oh, Whitney Houston was in Stab 3 for some odd reason, I don't know. But like they could do that. They could have done that, but where Scream really relies on what Scream really relies on and works well for Scream is the use of meta-ness that it has and uses, I feel like they use the meta-ness of any franchise really well. Like, they don't go heavy on meta-ness, but they still go pretty meta on certain movies, TV shows, or whatever, and that is what works for Scream 3, the rules are different in any thing, and that's true. That's pretty much true when you are dealing with a third installment, a third film. You have to change things up than what you were doing in the previous two installments, in the previous two films, Anybody in the third film is up for grabs. It doesn't matter if you're the good guy or the bad guy. It's still...
Hey, are you gonna drink your coffee?
Yeah.
It's over here.
Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot about it. My bad. Sorry about that, but anyways, what I was saying is, it's always going to be a meta commentary. Love it or hate it. Honestly, Scream 3 is a surprisingly good film now that I can look back and think about it, It still has its problems, don't get me wrong, but it's surprisingly pretty good for what it had to deal with. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys so far. For right now, please like, share, subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.